पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी भगवान प्रचार्य विशेष शून्यवादी भक्तात्मने। Can you hear me? Is the voice audible properly or is it getting cut?
No,
Yes,
audible
very
well.
clear,
Well
clear,
audible.
Very clear.
clear.
I'll not switch on the video. So we'll begin the 94th Anuccheda. 94th Anuccheda is titled as the primary meaning of the word Brahma is Bhagavan. Primary meaning. Tatascha yasmin parabrahmati paramabrihati tatascha yasmin paramabrihati samanyakara sattayas tat anga jyotishopi samanya akara sattayaha tad anga jyotishopi बृहत्वेन ब्रह्मत्वं तस्मिन्नेव मुख्या तच्छब्द प्रवृत्तिः. Therefore, the primary intent of the word Brahma applies to Bhagavan alone, who is Parama Brihati, who is supremely great, and Samanya Akara, whose generic existence, which is his bodily globe, is also called Brahman because of its greatness. Samanya Akara Sattaya Tad Angajyotishopi Brihatvena Brahmatvam. The primary meaning of the word Brahma is Bhagavan, and the Bhagavan's bodily glow, because it is also supremely great, because it is also great. So therefore, his bodily glow is also called Brahma. And this is confirmed in the Brahma Purana, Tatacha Brahme. You can repeat after me. Ananto Bhagavan Brahma
Ananto Bhagavan Brahma
Anandetyadi Vippadaihi
Anandetyadibhi padaihi
Prochyate Vishnurevaika
Prochyate Vishnurevaika
Vishnurevaikaha
Revaikaha
Pareshamupacharataha.
Pareshamupacharataha.
So, the primary meaning of the terms like Ananta, Bhagavan, Brahma, and Ananda applies only to Vishnu. But when these words, Ananta, Bhagavan, Brahma, and Ananda, refer to something else, Paresham, then they are secondary meanings, Upacharata. When Narada is referred as Bhagavan, Maitreya is referred as Bhagavan, Shiva is referred as Bhagavan. When these words are referred to somebody else, then it is a secondary meaning. So the primary terms, particularly the focus is that the primary meaning of the word Brahma, it refers to Vishnu only. Primary meaning of the terms like Brahman refers to Vishnu only. But when the term Brahman refers to the effulgence of Bhagavan, then it is a secondary meaning. It is the secondary meaning of the word Brahman. Kvachit, kvachit chananta guna yuktatvenaiva Bhagavan Brahma ityuchyate. Sometimes Bhagavan is called Brahman because he possesses unlimited attributes. Ananta guna yuktatvenaiva Bhagavan Brahmetyuchyate. So, from Padma Purana, Yata Padme. Can repeat after me. Prutak vaktum gunastasya
पृथक् वक्तुं गुणास्तस्य
न शक्यन्ते मितत्वतः
न शक्यन्ते मितत्वतः
यतोतो ब्रह्म शब्देन
यतो ब्रह्म शब्देन
सर्वेषां ग्रहणं भवेत्.
सर्वेषां ग्रहणं भवेत्.
Next shloka also. एतस्माद् ब्रह्म शब्दोऽसौ
श्याम मुकुंद प्रभु जी ओके
एतस्मात् ब्रह्मशब्दोऽसौ
विष्णोरेव विशेषणम्.
विष्णोरेव विशेषणम्.
अमितो हि गुणो यस्मान्
अमितो हि गुणो यस्मान्
नान्येषां तमृते विभुम्.
नान्येषां तमृते विभुम्.
So the Padma Purana shloka says that पृथग् वक्तुं गुणास्तस्य न शक्यन्ते अमितत्वतः, because the Lord has innumerable attributes. Amitatvatah, because the Lord has innumerable attributes, therefore it is not possible to delineate all of them separately. Pruthag vaktum na shakyante. Amita, amitatvatah, amita, I think unlimited, I think. Because he has unlimited attributes, therefore it is not possible to delineate all of them separately. Therefore, yataha, yato ato brahma shabdena sarvesham grahanam bhave. Therefore, they are collectively indicated by the word Brahma. Esasmat Brahma shabdosau Vishnoreva Visheshanam. Therefore, the word Brahma can be an adjective for all pervading Vishnu alone. Vishnoreva Visheshanam. And to no other, because he alone has unlimited qualities. Amito hi guno yasma. Na anyesham tamrute vibhu. He alone has unlimited qualities. So, two quotations. How the word Brahman, it refers to Vishnu only, primarily. Secondarily, only it refers to the effulgence of Vishnu. One from Brahma Purana, another from Padma Purana. Next. Atra Nirgalitoyam Mahaprakaranaartha. Nirgalitoyam Mahaprakaranaartha. So Jiva Goswami says that, therefore, the essential meaning of this lengthy subject, what the lengthy subject of the Bhagavat Sandarbha. He is giving a summary of the entire Bhagavat Sandarbha. The essential meaning of this lengthy subject as a whole is as follows. Yad advayam jnanam, yadadvayam jnanam, tadeva tattvamiti tattvavido vadanti. You can remember the shloka, vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yadjnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. 1.2.11. That is being referred. Yadadvayam jnanam tadeva tattvamiti tattvavido vadanti. Tacha vaishishtyam vinay Vina eva upalabhyamanam taccha vaishishtyam Vinaivopalabhyamanam Brahmeti Shabdyate Vaishishtyena Sahatu Sri Bhagavaniti Sacha Bhagavan Purvodita Lakshana Srimurtyatmaka Eva Natu Amurtaha Natu Amurtaha. What is the meaning? The meaning is that in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.11, it was said that those who have directly witnessed the absolute reality, Tattva Vido Vadanti, Tattvavit, those who have realized the truth, they declare Vadanti. Vadanti tat Tattvavidas Tattvam Yad Jnanam Advayam. The non-dual awareness is verily the absolute reality. Non-dual Advaya Jnana is the absolute reality. And when this non-dual truth is realized without any attributes, Vina eva upalabhyamanam, then it is called Brahman. But when realized with attributes, Vaishishtyena, when it is realized with attributes, it is called Bhagavan. Moreover, this Bhagavan is certainly non-different from his form. Such a Bhagavan, Purvadi Lakshana. This Bhagavan is certainly non-different from his form, which is naturally endowed with the attributes described earlier. He is not formless. Natu amurtaha. Bhagavan is not formless. He is certainly non-different from his form. Such a Bhagavan, Purvodita Lakshana Sri Murtyatmaka, which is naturally endowed with attributes described earlier. So he is giving a summary of the Bhagavat Sandarbha. And then further, he quotes Vishnu Purana. Ata Bhupamurta. Bhupamurtamamurtam cha param cha parameva cha iti Shri Vishnu Purana Padye tasya chaturvidatvam angi kurvadbir yad amurtatvam api prutat angi kartavyam tata brahmatvavat tad upasaka drishti yogyatanu rupamevastu. So he's quoting a shloka from Vishnu Purana, and this Vishnu Purana shloka, 4 aspects of the absolute truth are mentioned. Murtam, Amurtam, Param and Aparam. Murtam, Amurtam, Param, Aparam. So therefore, if those who accept the 4 features of the Lord described in the verse from Vishnu Purana, the verse is addressed to some king. O king, that absolute is both formless, Amurta, and also inclusive of the form, Murta, and both transcendental, Para, and immanent, Apara. So those who accept these 4 features of the Lord feel obliged to categorize his formlessness as a separate class. Then let that distinction be understood specifically as befitting the worshipper's level of vision. Just as the absolute is perceived as Brahman solely in accordance with the limitations of the viewing capacity. See, in the Bhagavatam 1.2.11, the absolute truth is described in 3 features: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Now, in the Vishnu Purana shloka, the absolute truth is described in 4 features: Murta, Amurta, formless and with form. and param and aparam, transcendental and immanent. So four forms are mentioned. So here, the amurta, formless aspect, that refers to the Brahman feature. So this Brahman feature, it is described that because the worshipper, because of the worshipper's level, because his viewing capacity is less, the capacity of this worshipper, his qualification is less, he can realize only this formless aspect of the absolute truth. Only because of that, this distinction, let that distinction be understood specifically as befitting the worshipper's level of vision, just as the absolute is perceived as Brahman solely in accordance with the limitations of the viewing capacity. Because the viewing capacity of the worshippers are different. Therefore, the absolute truth is described as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So here, in the Vishnu Purana shloka, four features are mentioned: Murta, Amurta, Param, Aparam. So that will be described more clearly. What are the four features? The fourth feature is the universal form is described. Bhagavan, Paramatma, Brahman, and universal form. These four aspects are described in this Vishnu Purana shloka. So that will be clear in the next paragraph. Tatahi yasya samichina bhaktirasti. Samichina bhakti. That means one was attained complete devotion for him. Tasya paramurtya shyama sundara chaturbhujadi rupaya pradurbhavati. For such, those who have complete devotion, the Lord appears in the Paramurti, the transcendental form, such as Shyama Sundar, or in the 400 Vishnu form. And then the next category. Yasyarvachino pasana rupa. Yasya arvachina upasana rupa. If you split the sandhi. Yasya arvachina upasana rupa. Tasya paramurtya, tasya aparamurtya patala padadi kalpana mayeva. So this line refers to the universal form. So to the arvachina upasana means to the neophytes on the path of worship. Arvachina. Arvachina means in one sense recent. That means those who have begun the path of spirituality are the neophytes. On the path of worship, he appears in a aparamurti. He appears in a phenomenal form. Like the Vishwarupa or the universal form, in which the different planets are described as the different limbs of the universal form. Patala Loka is described as the feet of the universal form. So for the neophyte people, for them, they worship the universal form of the Lord. The absolute truth appears in a universal form. So, and then, so Paramurti and Aparamurti. And then third, Yasya cha ruksham jnanam. Tasya parena brahma lakshana murtatveda. Ruksham jnanam is those who are to a person steeped in barren awareness. Ruksha jnana. Those who are a person steeped in barren awareness. The absolute manifests as the transcendental but formless Brahman. Parena Brahma Lakshana Amurtatvena. Para Amurta. Brahman is transcendental, but it is formless. Brahman is beyond the three modes, but it is formless. So para amurta, to a person who is following the ruksha jnana, only the path of jnana marga. And then fourth, yasya jnana prachura bhaktis, tasya tvapareneshvara lakshana murtatveneti. And a person who is endowed with devotion, but which has a predominance of jnana. Jnana prachura bhakti. Then the absolute manifests as the immanent but yet invisible Ishvara. That is apara amurta. The Paramatma feature. Paramatma is in this world. Apara, immanent. And amurta. Here amurta does not mean that formless. It will be clarified in the next paragraph. Amurta does not mean formless. Here amurta means here amurta does not mean formless. It means basically something inferior to the transcendental form of Bhagavan. Like this form is also transcendental, but as compared to Bhagavan, it is an inferior form in that sense. So yasya jnana prachura bhaktistasya tvapareneshvara lakshana murtatvena iti. So in this way, these four aspects. So for those people who have complete devotion, the absolute truth appears as the Shyam Sundar, Chaturbhuja Vasudeva, etc. For neophytes, the absolute truth appears as the universal form. They worship the universal form. And those who are completely immersed in Jnana Marga, they perceive the formless aspect of Brahman. And those who practice bhakti with the predominance of Jnana, they perceive the absolute truth as the Paramatma. So then further, so next paragraph, this one, here he just elaborates the last line of the previous paragraph. Atra aparatvam, paramurtyavir bhavanantaraso panatvena na brahmavadati iva मूर्तत्वान् अपेक्ष्य मित्येवं नत्व श्रेष्ठत्व विवक्षयेति ज्ञेयम् परमूर्तपेक्षया परत्वं वा. So the later manifestations aparatva or immanence is only in relation to the supreme transcendental form Paramurti. So the Shyam Sundar form, the Chaturbhuja form, it's a higher order revelation. But in comparison to that, the Paramatma is a lower order revelation. So therefore it is called aparatva, immanence. So the higher than Paramatma realization is the Bhagavan in the Shyam Sundar form or in the 400 Vishnu form. So Amurta in this case does not mean complete formlessness. In the case of the Brahman, Amurta means complete formlessness. But in the case of Paramatma, Amurta does not mean formlessness. It means basically something inferior to the form of the Bhagavan. And the word apara here to be taken to mean inferior. It is used only to contrast with the form of the supreme transcendence, Paramurti. So the next, further he quotes from the Vishnu Purana. Tatraiva, he quotes three quotations from Vishnu Purana. Tatraiva tad Vishwarupa Vairupyam Rupamanyat Dharer Mahat iti Vishwadishtanattvena Nityatvam Vibhutve. Nityatva Vibhutve. In the same chapter of Vishnu Purana, the statement that form called Vishwarupa is another great form of Sri Hari. Tad Vishwarupa Vairupyam Rupam Anyad Dharer Mahat shows that this form of the Lord is eternal and all pervading because it is the support of the universe. And then Murtam Bhagavato Rupam Sarvopashraya Nispriham iti Nirupaditvam. The statement, the form of the Lord, while existing as the support of everything, is free of expectation. Nispriham is free of expectation, indicates that the Lord's form is free from extraneous qualities, Nirupaditva. Chintyed Brahmabhutam tam iti Paratatva Lakshanatvam. Then third statement. Furthermore, it explains that his form is of the nature of supreme transcendence, Paratattva. Paratattva Lakshanatvam. Because it is said that one should meditate on him, the embodiment of Brahman. Brahma Bhutam Tam Chintayed. So he is quoting three statements from Vishnu Purana to show that the form of Bhagavan is eternal and all pervading, because the form of Bhagavan is the support of the universe. And the form of Bhagavan is free from any extraneous qualities, Nirupaditva. And the form of Bhagavan is supreme transcendence, therefore one must meditate upon that form, Paratattva Lakshanatva. And then further he quotes Vishnu Purana. So you have the PDF of the book which I sent, both of you. So that later if you want, you can go through the book. I'm just showing the Sanskrit only. So I'm reading the English translation. But as a revision after the class, you can go through the book 94th Anuccheda. You have the PDF, na? See? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, checking. In this group only you sent it?
Or I sent it personally, I think. Mataji has nothing.
Okay, Prabhu.
I will send you it. I'll send you again.
Okay, Prabhu.
Then further he quotes Vishnu
Yes.
Purana. Tribhava Bhavanatitaha iti tatra prasiddha karmamaya jnana karma prasiddha karmamaya jnana karma samuchayamaya kevala jnanamaya bhavanatrayatitattvena paratatva lakshanatvepi bhaktyaikavir bhavitataya samyak prakashatvam मूर्तस्यैव व्यञ्जितम् अतएव शुभाश्रयः सचित्तस्य सर्वगस्य तथात्मनः इत्युक्तम्. So he is quoting two more shlokas from the Vishnu Purana, or from the two more, not he is quoting the complete shloka, but quoting the particular phrases in the particular shloka. So Tribhava Bhavanatitaha. He is transcendental to the three manifestations of the Absolute, which are revealed in correspondence to the consciousness and internal disposition of the perceiver. So by this statement, it is shown that the supreme transcendence, Paratattva, is beyond the three familiar manifestations of the Absolute. So the Vishnu Purana talks about four aspects: Bhagavan, Brahman, Paramatma, and Vishwarupa. So Bhagavatam speaks about Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Vishnu Purana talks about these four aspects. So here it is said that the Bhagavan feature is shown that the supreme transcendence, that Paratattva, is beyond the Brahman, Paramatma, and the Vishwarupa. Prasiddha Karmamaya, Jnana Karma Samuchayamaya, Kevala Jnanamaya, Bhavana Traya Atitatvena. Kevala Jnanamaya is the Brahman feature. Prasiddha Karmamaya is the universal form. Jnana Karma Samuchayamaya it refers to the Paramatma feature. So Bhagavan is beyond these three: Brahman, Paramatma, and Vishwarupa, which are revealed respectively in correspondence to the paths of karma, a combination of jnana and karma, and exclusive jnana. And even in the absolute characterized as supreme transcendence, Paratattva, the utterly complete manifestation of that supreme reality, because it is revealed only through pure devotion, is in that entity alone who is self-endowed with the form. Therefore, it is said, he is the auspicious shelter even of the transcendental self, the all-pervading consciousness. Bhaktyai bhavitataya samyak prakashatvam murtasyaiva vyanjitam. So in this way, Vishnu Purana shloka, in the Vishnu Purana, four aspects of the absolute truth are described: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, and Vishwarupa. So Bhagavan is realized by complete pure devotion. And Vishwarupa is realized by the path of karma. Brahman is realized by the path of jnana. And Paramatma is realized by one place it is explained that by the combination of jnana and karma, or bhakti predominated by jnana. In this way, the Paramatma is realized. So further, tatascha tasyaha shrimurterapi sakashat tadante pratyahāroktihi kevala bedopasakam prati vyavasthapita bhavati tyapyanusandeyam. Therefore, in the remaining part of this chapter, he is referring to the particular Vishnu Purana chapter. The remaining part of this chapter, the statements that advise withdrawing the mind from the form of the Lord should be understood as intended solely for the worshippers who adhere to the radical non-distinction. So in that particular chapter of Vishnu Purana, from which all these verses are quoted, so there is a description of withdrawing the mind from the form of the Lord. Therefore, that section is for the people who want to realize the formless aspect, the Advaita Marga. For them, those verses are given. Atra tat Vishwarupa Vairupyam. Atra tat Vishwarupa Vairupyam. Again, he is quoting Vishnu Purana. Ityetat padyam murta parameva jneyam. So again the verse that Vishwarupa Vairupyam should be understood as pertaining to form on the strength of the lines that follow. So you can repeat the shloka. Samasta Shakti Rupani
Samasta Shakti Rupani
Yatkaroti Nareshwaraha
Yat Karoti Nareshwaraha
Devatiryang Manushyakya
Devatariyan Manushyakya
Cheshtavanti Swalilaya.
Cheshtavanti Swalilaya.
So, Samasta Shakti Rupani. O King, the Supreme Lord, by his will, creates all the active forms that are endowed with energy, such as gods, animals, and human beings. Devatariyang Manushyakya. The Supreme Lord, by his will, creates all the active forms. So this shloka comes in the Vishwarupa, the Vishwarupa Dhyanam, or the description of the Vishwarupa in the Vishnu Puranam. The Supreme Lord only creates all the active forms that are endowed with energy. So it Anantara Vakya Balat. It Anantara Vakya Balat. Anantara Vakya Balat. So then he quotes Bhagavatam, first canto, third chapter, beginning shlokas. Verse 2, 3, 4, 5. Or the verse number 2, 5, etc. Ataha Pratamasya Tritiye Yasyambasi Shayanasya Yoganitram Vitanvatah Ityad Yukta Lakshanasya Murtasyaiva Tattad Avataritvam Darshitvam Yetan Nanavataranam Nidanam Bijamagayam iti. So in the chapter 3 of the first canto, the Lord possessing form is described as the source of all the avatars. Nanavataram Nidanam Bijamagayam. This Supreme Person is the imperishable seed of the innumerable avatars appearing within the cosmos and the abode to which they return. From a portion of his Yasyambasi, from a portion of his, that means from Brahma, from a portion of his and from a portion of that form, that is from the sages such as Marichi, who are brought forth by Brahma, the gods, men, animals, and other life forms are created. Other life forms are created. So, the characteristics of that form are given at the beginning of that chapter. While this Purusha was sleeping in Yoga Nidra on the causal waters, Brahma, the chief of the creators of the universe, appeared from the lotus that grew from his navel lake. Maybe you can read this portion. For in chapter 3, from here you can read. You can read that for in chapter 3.
For in chapter 3 of the first canto, the Lord possessing form is described as the source of all avatars. This Supreme Person, the second manifestation of the Purusha, is the imperishable seed of the innumerable avatars appearing within the cosmos and the abode to which they return. Okay, from a portion of his life, that is from Brahma, and from a portion of that portion, that is from the sages such as Marichi, who were brought forth by the Brahma. The gods, men, animals, and other life forms are created. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.5. The characteristics of that form are given at the beginning of that chapter. While this Purusha was sleeping in Yoga Nidra on the causal waters, Brahma, the chief of the Prabhuji, next. The chief of the creators of the universe appeared from the lotus that grew from his navel lake. Indeed, that form of the Lord, upon whose limbs the expanse of the planets is imagined to stand, is endowed with potency and situated in pure being. With profound vision, the rishis see this extraordinary form with thousands of feet, chests, arms, and faces, a thousand heads, ears, eyes, and noses, brilliant with a thousand crowns, vestments, and ornaments.
So this is
From Srimad
basically
Bhagavatam
1.3.2 to 4. Yasyambasi shayanasya yoganidram vitanvatah नाभिह्रदाम्बुजादासीत् ब्रह्मा विश्वसृजां पतिः यस्या
Prabhuji, your voice is lagging now. Voice is breaking in between.
अच्छा voice is breaking or lagging behind. यस्याम्बसि शयानस्य योगनिद्रां वितन्वतः.
No, Prabhu, I think the internet is poor, Prabhu.
Okay.
Your voice is lagging.